Debt is one of the most important parts of financial planning at the moment. People used to use trusts and companies and all of these types of things to arrange their affairs, but debt is now one of the most important ways of structuring acquisitions in effective ways. Ennis is a company that we started 14 years ago, and we are a mortgage broker. So what that means is people come to us with their requirements, and then we help them solve their problems or deliver their plans by helping them borrow money to do that. So that's the basic principle. We specialise in high value, international and complicated transactions for individuals all over the world. We have offices in 6 locations. We work with some of the most well-known, prominent, wealthy individuals and families across the world. What makes us different is our range of lenders that we work with. So we have an unrestricted number of banks and finance providers that we've built over 15, 14 years, which now runs to about 500 providers. And people come to us either with a problem or an opportunity they want to deliver, and we work with them to find that money. We act on behalf of the borrower. So if the borrower goes into a bank, the bank is going to be acting on behalf of the bank. We charge the client a fee. We then deliver what the client needs in the interests of the client using the whole marketplace. So that's our USP. We're acting for the person borrowing the money rather than the institution lending the money. And that's quite important. We've developed now a proposition where we can look at any asset class, technically in any jurisdiction for an individual from anywhere. Illustrating that, last year we helped 78 different nationalities borrow money against property in 20 countries. So that's quite a big kind of number if you've got there. We don't have any restrictions on nationality or background or anything like that. We work with everyone from everywhere, as you'd expect. Because we know the banks and we understand the logic and the process, and we know people in all of these jurisdictions, we can quite quickly work out what can be done in any country. So our key markets for property lending are the UK, prime European cities, prime North American cities and so on, but technically we can arrange anywhere. But it's not just real estate. Boats, cars, planes, for example, or financial securities like stock, shares, portfolios, private holdings in listed companies and so on, or corporate finance, so the finance needed within a business. Our average mortgage request over the last 365 days is about £3 million sterling, so $4 million approximately. We don't have a minimum loan size. So if someone, it's not uncommon for a very prominent individual to want to borrow a more modest amount, perhaps to buy a flat for their daughter in Manchester or to solve a micro problem, and some very, very big transactions as well. So our biggest loan ever was completed this month, which was 150 million US dollars secured against a portfolio of securities. So we're comfortable at either end. Complexity is how this whole market works now. So I think, without being specific, we've worked with some very, very high profile people that have significant problems for lots of different reasons. We've worked with people that have time pressured and current situations that need debt injected to solve their problems. So people, they've come to the end of their 5 years with their private bank and their circumstances have changed, and the bank isn't prepared to advance them a new mortgage. So all of a sudden they're caught exposed, and they, facing a receiver or having the property repossessed, coming in and solving those problems, which are often highly sensitive and time pressured and emotional, so things like that. But also significantly, big projects, so very, very expensive developments in the UK and France that need lots of moving parts. So complexity comes in lots of different shapes and sizes. What we don't do is say, no, we can't do that, which is what many people do. If it's difficult, we say, you can't do this, but if you change this, or if you add in this, or if you can change the transaction in a certain way, this is what's possible. So it's about solving the problems rather than finding the absolute perfect solution.